stuff? From the beginning, I guess right after he was born, they did the newborn hearing test, and he failed 3 times when he was in the hospital. So we then took him to do basically a test where they put electrodes in his ear, and they will basically fire frequencies directly at the eardrum to see what his ear responds to and what it doesn't. And then they were able to basically tell us, the extent of his hearing loss that he had and what frequencies he could and couldn't hear. When you hear hearing loss, you kind of assume like you miss everything or you hear everything. It's kind of an all or nothing proposition, but then to understand how it's really a bit more confusing than that. So for somebody his age who, would never have heard the word with an S at the end or something like that, or a word that he's never heard or would hear differently, it's not something he would be able to innately fill in because he's never experienced it before. And so being able to think about it that way really kind of helps paint the clear picture as to why it's really important and just what you'd be able to miss if you didn't have the early detection, didn't find it early on. So I think that's something that's really stuck out with us. In addition to that, so both being parents who don't have any hearing issues, the other question was, why? Nobody in our families have any hearing loss, no family history of that. So we got genetic testing done to find out, what the story was, and it turns out he has a fairly rare condition called Usher syndrome, which is he's got bilateral hearing loss, so he's going to have hearing loss in both ears. But then also, in addition, at some point, he's also going to start to lose his eyesight. His eyesight's going to degenerate, and he'll get extreme tunnel vision to the point where he'll be legally blind. That's something that's going to happen down the road. But until then, the main focus is the hearing portion of it. So, again, he's had his hearing aids in since he was 3 months old, and so hasn't missed a beat really in that regard. He's he's your average 2.5-year-old. If he didn't, if he didn't have the hearing aids in, he'd be no different than anybody else.
Yep.
What about apple?
What about apple?
A-P-P-L-E, apple.
Good job.